On our screen, you can see both of the victim host and the attacker host. We're going to be kicking off on the attacker host. Let's go ahead and launch our attack. You can see that my container has started. Let's jump back over to protect and see if this attack has been detected. You can see that we have one infected asset and an alert opened for a malicious file. Clicking on the alert, we can see further information about this attack. Let's go ahead and focus our attention on the bottom left-hand side, which shows our running process tree. Going through it, we can see that part of this process tree is our user sbin cron. This is valuable information for our security team because it gives them a starting point in their investigation. Let's jump back over to the terminal and see how this can be used. Now, your teams will know that cron jobs are generally stored under the etc directory. They could be within cron.d, cron.daily. You can see those on your screen. Now, package installations usually store their cron jobs under cron.d. So let's go ahead and start there. For time's sake, I'm going to go ahead and tell you that the file we're looking for is 1m. Catting that, we can see that this is a little bit suspicious. After all, we can see that we're adding an executable flag to the temp downloader file. Catting out your temp downloader file, we see that it is pulling down Doki malware. Basically, this file says, look for Doki malware in the root directory. If it exists, then we do nothing. If it doesn't exist, we're going to go ahead and pull the malware back down. If the malware was removed from the system, but this file was not found, then the malware file would be back on your system within 5 seconds, ready to execute. The last thing I want to do is confirm that Doki is indeed running on this system. If we do a ps aux grep Doki, we can see that it is running under PID 57778. Let's go back over to the Protect dashboard. Looking at our process tree one more time, that the process ID does match what we saw on the server. Now, we don't want to leave this running on our server for too long, so let's go ahead and terminate the process. We can see that the process has been terminated successfully. Once our teams have confirmed that the server is indeed clean and everything has been removed, we can go ahead and close the alert. Now, there's one more thing that I'd like to take a look at. Going back to the dashboard, we can see that we no longer have an infected server. However, let's take a look at the bottom left-hand side. We can see that we have some vulnerable assets that have been identified. Let's take a look to see what those are. Now, we can find the Docker host which we were using, and we see that it has a high vulnerability status. We can go over to our configuration checks, and we can see that the high status is related to a TLS authentication issue for Docker. This is what Doki took advantage of. Looking at this vulnerability status, we can get additional information such as a description of the vulnerability, the rationale behind it, and remediation steps which can be taken in order to better secure our server. I hope you enjoyed the demo, and if you did and you'd like to give it a try yourself, it's not a problem at all. Just head over to protect.intezer.com/signup. I hope you enjoy it and reach out and let us know how it went.